so it's not comparable to Metrowave. But the sound from a train comes from the wind resistance of it. So when it's going 50, 60 miles an hour or less, you don't even hear it because it's electric. But when it starts going faster, there is sound from the wind resistance, but it's not comparable to a diesel fuel train. It's not the same. It's a different technology.
What about the whistle?
So there's no whistles on these systems because they have to be completely separated from any traffic. So there's no cross arms and no horns.
For the we're going to have Rosamond Boulevard, and then we have a whole length of area there that it's all green, which says that's all ground travel.
At grade, yes.
So we're not going to be able to go. We're going to have one route to go any further west than 60th Street, unless we want to drive up the 58 and go through Tehachapi, or drive all the way into Lancaster.
So any existing streets that would cross the train tracks, they would have to be separated, the train from the street, in order for that circulation to still take place. And you can look at the maps a little bit more closely to find out for any streets like 60th Street how it would cross. So it would have to still be, that through traffic would still have to be able to cross. We just can't have it cross the same level as the train because it wouldn't be safe.
So you're in other words, your display here is totally inaccurate.
What do you mean?
Because when it went through Rosamond, there was one little section of blue, and that was where it traveled over Rosamond Boulevard at 61st. Everything else in the entire town of Rosamond was green, which means it's traveling at ground level. So, are you digging tunnels underneath to allow the existing roads, all of them, many of them, whether they be paved or unpaved, to get from one side to the other? Are you going to be digging tunnels underneath, or are you going to be building bridges over the railroad tracks?
So we would have to look at those cross streets specifically with the engineer to find out if it's over, under, or if it's a closure, because that's possible too. But existing streets there are maintained in terms of cross traffic to the degree possible. So
to the degree possible. That basically means you decide what you want to do and you do it.
Well, it's based off of traffic patterns. So if there's a high volume of traffic going down the street, they're not going to cut it off. So
if there is somebody who lives out in an area and their method of getting from one place to another in the town is that particular dirt road, how the hell are they going to get from there to go over and see their friend?
A dirt road maybe.
We have a lot of people in Rosamond who live on dirt roads.
Oh yeah.
We have a huge amount of dirt roads, and I don't think you guys are even looking at a dirt road as a road.
Well, I mean,
we like to travel down 60th all the time.
Yeah.
We won't be able to do that anymore.
Well, have you looked on the map specifically on 60th?
Yes.
The map shows it going over.
Okay.
The map shows it going over Rosamond Boulevard at 60th, and then hitting the ground again.
Right. So
and crossing 60th Street. 60th Street is a main thoroughfare from Rosamond into the west side of Lancaster, and up into Palmdale and Quartz Hill.
So I would have to look at the map to know specifically what happens to 60th. I couldn't tell you.
The big map over there, it shows the dirt roads.
Yeah.
And it shows a straight green line going across them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But dirt roads they're real roads.
No, I'm not saying that they're not. Obviously, people do travel on them to get to a lot of places. So I'm not saying
For a
that.
lot of people, that's the road.
Yes.
It's not we'll take the back road instead of going around.
They live on the back road, and that is the only road to get to where they live.
So there would be those types of impacts potentially.
And as far as tunneling under, that's going to be great until it rains.
Exactly. Because we are in a, believe it or not, a lot of the Antelope Valley is a floodplain.
I know.
So when we do get the rain in large quantities, being a clay-based valley, it doesn't soak in to most places other than people's lawns.
Yeah,
what it does is it flows rapidly down the streets, and any place where we would try and tunnel under, you're going to have a swimming pool.
So they have to take all of that into account. The environmental team has to, that's not something that they can ignore. They have to factor in
Don't forget the
50,
desert
100
plains.
years and the 1,000-year floodplains for the whole area. I'm not saying it's not, it's a consideration and a serious one that has to be taken into account. So.